What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. I'm sure some of you have already seen the headline, but if you haven't, one of the top executives at Marvel Studios, someone who had been there on scene since before Iron Man was released in 2008, for almost 17 years with multiple titles, but was a current president, parts ways out of the blue with Marvel Studios. Victoria Alonso, with no forewarning and no reasons given, was announced today to be leaving the studio effective last Friday. We're going to break down exactly what she did at Marvel, and given the circumstances around her leaving, why it certainly looks like she was let go rather than leaving of her own accord, and what this exactly means for Marvel. No, it's not Kevin Feige quitting, but this is his top inner circle. This is akin to one of the major people who are in charge of a lot of stuff leaving, and the thing she was in charge of, well, has been the point of major contention as of late, especially in the fan base. We're going to separate fact from fiction, tell you exactly what happened with Victoria Alonso. I then am going to speculate a little bit as to why I think she may have been let go in light of what's recently been happening with all the changes in Marvel Studios. We're breaking it down, but first, quickly, if you could grab the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. The next one is right around the corner with Guardians of the Galaxy release. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment on this video if you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, because of how high level this executive was and what she meant to Marvel Studios, this has basically been reported in every place across the internet already. We're going to start with Deadline's article that confirmed that Victoria Alonso, quote, has exited Marvel Studios after a 17-year run. No reasons were given for her departure, which is effective this Friday, and it's not clear where she's heading. Now, she started at Marvel Studios all the way back in 2006 as Chief of Visual Effects and Post-Production before Iron Man's launch in 2008, 2 years later, and over the years she had rised in the ranks, but her most recent title was President at Marvel Studios of Physical, Post-Production, VFX, and Animation Production, which to me spells why this exactly happened. When they brought back Bob Iger as CEO, Marvel Studios was said to be going under major changes. And as of late, the major point of contention in the industry among the fandom has been the quality of Marvel productions. But outside of the fandom and in the industry, most of the gripes and complaints were coming from within the VFX animations, one of the things that she was a president of, including also, as was just mentioned, post-production, which has to do with the quality of what's being put out. Now, obviously, all of the blame isn't with her. The previous CEO, Bob Chapek, was setting absolutely insane and unreasonable goals for them to release almost a Marvel project a month, right about that pace between Disney Plus, the special presentations, animations, and the film, and that just was not reasonable for how much work the VFX had to do and the quality of the products we were getting. When they brought Bob Iger back, they were said to be going under major quality control, and that might have led to her being let go at Marvel Studios, considering the responsibility of post-production, VFX, all landed on her. Now, that is just purely speculation because there is no reason given. But when someone like Victoria Alonso, who the article at Deadline mentions has a passion for all things Marvel, all of a sudden, and with no forewarning, leaves the company with no verbalization, no announcement, just departs out of the blue and has to let it be reported days later by Hollywood trades. This isn't what you would expect as the meaningful and emotional, heartfelt send-off that you would expect by either someone who's choosing to move on because of their own accord or something that was decided between both parties to be an amicable split. This sounds like whatever happened in the last couple of months after Bob Iger was brought back, when they went into internal quality control and looked at everything that had happened in Marvel Phase 4, the buck had to stop with someone. Someone had to take responsibility for the lack in post-production, for all of the VFX gaffes, She-Hulk, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantummania's editing. The list goes on. And I've told you guys many times here at the channel that I am obviously a biased fan, and that even though I'm willing to voice my gripes when and if I see them with every project, Disney Plus films, it doesn't matter. It's still a fact of I am not piling on with the rest of the people who are outside the fandom, as I mentioned in a video earlier today, who just want to sort of kick Marvel while they're down because they weren't fans in the first place and it's easy to do for clicks. This was a matter of everyone was saying it and Marvel could see it, problems with VFX and problems with post-production. She was the president of those two things, and so with Marvel Phase 4 the way it went, with Marvel Phase 5 needing a change, it seems as though the company felt like turning this over was the right idea. Now, there's also the possibility that they said, hey, we need X, Y, and Z, that's Marvel Studios, and Victoria Alonso said, I simply don't want to do that, and it was an amicable parting, but you would expect there to be some sort of public comment, either on behalf of Disney and behalf of Victoria Alonso, and maybe that is still forthcoming, but what I will say is, speculation aside, the facts are the facts. She was the president of physical, post-production, VFX, and animation production. All of the gripes and all of the complaints from the industry have been about those exact things, including we had heard at the end of last year that some of the animated projects they had in post-development that were already well in the works, like Spider-Man Freshman Year, may be canceled, or that we might not even get the What If Season 2, because if you remember at the end of last year, right before they let Bob Iger go, there were massive layoffs across every department, including Marvel Studios and Disney Animation, where a lot of the creatives who were working in that department came out and voiced their fears about there even being a future at Marvel Studios. Eventually, this was all going to have to come back on somebody, and I think a lot of people, myself included, maybe just assumed that Bob Chapek was going to be that person and that Marvel Studios' upper brass would stay exactly the same. But now, when you saw the headline at our channel in the last 2 months, when we said massive changes, huge changes incoming from Marvel Studios, this is making good on that. So this is what I will say, because I actually have 2 final thoughts. Number 1, Victoria Alonso is someone that we should all thank. She is one of the maybe top 5 human beings who put more effort than anybody into making the MCU what it is. So no matter what happened in the last week or the last month or even all of Phase 4, her, Kevin Feige, Trin Tram, the list is very short, Brad Weinderbaum, they are all very instrumental in bringing the MCU for where it is today. And it doesn't mean that we can't go back to their glory days, but that's my second final thought and my true final thought. You can't keep things the same and expect a different result. That is by literal definition of insanity. And I know that it is easy for me, all of the people like me, to talk about this in reactionary form, for all of us to form our own thoughts from the outside looking in. But what in the world could we even know about building a movie studio to be the biggest of all time, with not only the biggest interconnected universe of all time, but by a mile? What does Fast franchise have now? 8 movies, 10 movies? I can't keep track with the extra Hobbs films. Nothing even close to where we'll be with 40 films here in very shortly. So give them a pass. Not everything can be great all the time, and I would argue that probably your favorite director or your favorite band has a song, an album, or a movie you don't like. You know what? Marvel Studios may have a phase you weren't too hot on, but this is them actually making changes. So no matter what you want to say about piling on or kicking Marvel when they're down, if you have been one of those people over the last 2 months, and here's looking at you, the whole slew of content creators who I have to argue, were you even a fan in the first place? You can't get down on them for this too. This is them reacting to, in an actual actionary way, what you've been complaining about. So if there's anyone complaining about this, I really don't know what to tell you. You're getting what you asked for. Also, whatever again happened in the last week, month or so, Victoria Alonso, I can't say it enough. She was the person in the trenches doing all the hardest work when the hardest work had to be done. And so regardless of what happened or what happens from here, I am very thankful of her, and again, a very short list of people who brought the MCU to where it is today and has the future that it has. And guys, look, nothing stays the same. Aquemini, let me know all your thoughts down below. I was like 4% of the fan base at this channel who even knows what Nothing Lasts Forever Aquemini means. Aquemini is an album by Outkast back when I was in high school. I'm going to date myself here, so the 90s for sure. And again, I don't really think many people know that outside of like a very small regional reference to Outkast fans in the South. But if you haven't heard it, Aquemini is a banger. You should check it out. Nothing Lasts Forever. And that's true. Let me know all your thoughts down below. Random Outkast reference. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We are still giving away a PlayStation 5. The next one is Guardians of the Galaxy. We're just going to do it releasing with Marvel movies. That's going to be our new milestones instead of subscriber milestones, especially since I don't even know what's going on with YouTube's algorithm. I'm pretty sure YouTube doesn't know what's going on with YouTube's algorithm. So yeah, if you haven't gotten notifications for my videos last couple days, guys, I don't know what to tell you. YouTube's being weird. All you got to do to be entered to win, and all the same rules will always apply, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. Please remember, all winners, when there is one, will be announced live with my voice and on screen, never in the comments. So please be wary of scammers. If you should get a spam comment, my channel, any other channel, just report them to YouTube. YouTube deletes those comments really quick when notified, and it deletes them across YouTube. So you're doing the huge community service, and me as well, who some days just cannot delete those comments fast enough. And trust me, guys, I've tried. My name's Michael Roman. Find me on Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. Also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple. Under the name All Fires. I have a brand new record coming out next month, April 18th. Pre-sales coming soon. All right, I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.